Hello and welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. I'm Dan Thomas. Coming up a little later on in the show, Gab Marcotti will be with us as we'll be discussing Italy's potential when it comes to the Euros next summer. We'll start, though, in the Nations League with Belgium winning their group after a 4-2 victory over Denmark. The other result in this tie, England with a 4-0 win over Iceland. Let's talk Belgium, shall we, as we welcome Craig Burley, Stewart Robson and Ian Darke to the show. Ian, I want to start with you just because comments you were making just before we started the show saying you're not that excited by Belgium.
No, I know they're rated the #1 team in the world if you believe the FIFA rankings, but I think this team had their best chance of lifting a trophy this generation at the 2018 World Cup, and they were beaten in the semi-finals, and they messed up at the Euros in 2016 as well. And I think now, though they've still got Lukaku scoring goals and they've got De Bruyne and they've got Mertens and other good players, that defence is still built around Alderweireld and Vertonghen, who I think are probably a couple of years past their best. And tonight against Denmark, they were carved open a few times in the first half. 3-1 looks quite comfortable, but Denmark were right in that game. So, no, I think pressed into a corner. I don't fancy Belgium to win the European Championships.
Craig, do you agree? Have they missed their chance?
No, well, they still have a chance, of course, but they're not. They don't seem to be playing the dominant possession type game that Roberto Martinez is renowned for. In fact, we saw how much they were pushed back in the England game. We saw how much the Danes pushed them back, and maybe there's a realization, I don't know, that they are susceptible at the back. Maybe Roberto Martinez has accepted, look, we're a bit vulnerable. This is our Achilles heel, and maybe we're going to try and sit in against teams and hit them on the counter-attack. Look, they got 4 goals. You know, it was a great start from after that goal from Tielemans at the same end he scored against England. Then it was quick thinking from him for the Lukaku goal, and a brilliant Lukaku header as well. And then you know straight after Denmark got that lucky goal, they went up the park and scored the 4th with De Bruyne. That was game over. But yeah, I don't see why they're #1 in the FIFA rankings. They've got good players. I don't understand that ranking, and I think that's going to add pressure on them come the summer.
Have we just set the bar too high for them, Robbo? They're still an exceptional side, aren't they?
Well, they certainly are. Their results say that they're an exceptional side, but I agree with both the guys. They've still got problems. The 2 wide centre-halves didn't defend particularly well today, and when you look at who they had at wing-backs, Hazard, who's an attacking player, playing as the right wing-back, and Chadli playing as the left wing-back, they haven't really got a defensive thought in their mind. So they were quite often out of position. They were too high up the field, and they didn't dominate midfield. And it happened against England. It's now happened against Denmark. And although they've got 2 very good wins and 2 good results, I think Roberto Martinez would be going away from these and thinking, why couldn't we control midfield? Why couldn't we dominate the play? Why couldn't we get the ball into the front areas earlier and keep it up there? Because that was a major problem. And I'll go back to have they got a chance? For them to have a chance at the Euro Championships, they need Eden Hazard to be fit and firing on all cylinders, because he'll make a big difference to that team.
Yeah, of course.
Well, the interesting thing is that Torgan Hazard played left wing back in the game against England, and the only player Belgium were missing from their strongest team was Eden Hazard. Now, what's Roberto Martinez going to do? Is he going to ask Hazard to play as a wing back and work all the way back? Because we know he's not going to do that. That's going to leave them exposed. Otherwise, he's going to have to change the shape of the personnel of the team, because you had Mertens and De Bruyne playing behind Lukaku in that game. So he's got some stuff to ponder when these guys come back in. I mean, how's he going to reshape this team with De Bruyne, Mertens? Go on.
He will go with he will almost go with a 3-4-3, and he will play De Bruyne on one side, Hazard the other side, and he'll leave Mertens out, and the centre forward will be Lukaku, and he'll play with Tielemans in midfield. You know, and with Witsel probably. That would be his strongest side, and that's what I think he'll go with.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.